Okay. Hello and good morning.
Morning.
Beautiful Jade. How are
How are
you?
I'm
How
good.
are you today? Okay. So, this is my beautiful friend Jade. She's an RMT, and let's talk about how we met. Whew. Bayside days.
Years ago. Just a couple.
Yeah. So, Jade and I met in high school. And in Bayside Secondary School, well, go Red Devils.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Um, so a few years ago, we won't say our age, but but yeah, we met in high school and we played sports together. I guess that's kind of how we bonded, like, and just our group of friends were, we were the athletes. So what sports did we play together? Rugby.
Yeah, I played rugby and you like went on to hockey. I'm not a big fan of hockey,
No, yeah. But rugby, we killed it in rugby. So our high school, the Bayside Red Devils,
yeah.
we won OFSA one time, didn't we?
Yeah. All like pretty much all the years that we went there in that like
Yeah.
4 or 5 year span, we were like killing it. So
Right?
we're
We
proud
are,
of all the girls.
and we still are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah. Awesome.
our, drive and kind of mentality of our what we want to do, kind of set the tone for the rest of our lives, really.
Yeah. And here we are.
Both part.
Here we are. So, yeah, nutrition and fitness coach, and then you're an RMT, so
Hmm.
massage therapist. So
Yes.
that's why you know me. I like holistic health and thinking about the full body, the full whole person, mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, this we tie in nicely together. So.
So
That's why I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about massage therapy.
yeah.
It's a thing that obviously everyone knows, but I'm going to be honest, I never get massages and I'm ashamed of myself.
Well, you're not alone. There's so many people, like even clients that I've had recently within the pandemic, like they're like, I can't even remember the last massage I had, or this is my first one. Like, how does it go? And so I find myself explaining, like the process and what to expect and before and after and during. And so it can be really, really interesting because I just figure because like it's obviously my profession and a passion of mine. So I just assume everybody knows, and everybody does it. So I'm like, okay, yeah. But then, there's so many people out there that some don't even like being touched. So massage isn't even really, an option. But there's so many things in the realm of massage that we can use. It doesn't have to be on the table, down to like your underwear or whichever. And that, it could be a chair massage fully clothed, so it's comfort levels that people can kind of work in between and what
That's
find
true.
out works for you. Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about that. Yeah, because I always assume massage, you're on a table and you're covered in a blanket or a
Yeah.
towel.
Or like
But yeah,
physio,
that's
right? Because you use a similar table, but physio, you're fully clothed. So some
right.
massage we can still do, you know, we can do that. I've massaged people with full t-shirts on, leggings on, all that stuff. So you just have to
Yeah.
make it work for your client or your
And I
patient.
guess some people can do like ticklish, right? So
Yeah.
like how do you get
That
like
could
you
be, yeah,
try
a
to
bit.
talk?
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess let's then talk about like what kind of massage do you give, or like there's different kinds of massages, obviously.
Yeah, there's a huge range. And all of them kind of involve different techniques and different kind of results, really, of what you want. So there's like the generic kind of therapeutic massage, the Swedish massage. And so
Yeah.
in that, there's, like I said, specific techniques, but the therapeutic, in my understanding, is just more of like a general, like full body. You're assessing kind of everything that's going on. It's not, very intense. It's just kind of, encompassing everything that You know, someone's like, oh, you know, I'm just stressed at work, you know, my body's a little sore and this and that. So you're just kind of targeting all of those specific kind of things. Whereas deep tissue, that's like focusing on different areas. So you could have like trigger points, or you could have, you know, if you're an athlete or, you know, perform like an athlete, your body is going to be, you know, a little kind of condition different and feel a little different than someone that is a little more sedentary. So deep tissue kind of gets, you know, in a bit deeper and relax some of that. But then in turn, deep tissue can be used for pre and postnatal as well in certain parts, like especially in glutes and stuff like that. Like, so it's what I like to do for my treatments is kind of encompass both. So yes, you're targeting the specific areas that need to be like released or, you know, just relaxed, but then you're bringing in like that nice feel good. So because like every single muscle in your body doesn't need to be, you know, like just ripped apart and all that. So you kind of have to have a nice mix, I find.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, and then I do pre and postnatal as well. I have a pregnancy cushion so that the moms can lie on their bellies, which they really like. So
wait, how does this work?
So you put it on the table, and it's got one section for the head because it's raised up, and then you have another section for the chest that has cutouts for the ever-growing boobs, and then a middle that you can adjust that has a spot out for the belly, and then you can rise it up. Well, yeah, with the growing belly. So it's super, super awesome, and all the moms love it. So use it for pre and post, especially if there's like a C-section or anything. It just gives a little more kind of comfort and space for that. So,
for sure.
But there's lots that you can do. And then I do infant and child massage too. So that's, I kind of tie in with the pre and postnatal.
Yeah.
Which I love so much because you're giving, so I have some clients that are babies, so obviously we're not going to learn that much. It's more the mom and the parent kind of bonding with the child. It introduces healthy touch and everything like that. But when you're massaging the children, like you're teaching them about their bodies, you know, and because I massage like a lot of kids that, you know, they're out playing like elite soccer or gymnastics or out like bike rides and all this stuff, like longer bike rides. So their little muscles are being worked. And so I find that we often think like, oh, they're kids, like, you know, it's fine. They're just growing pains and this and that. But their little bodies are working a lot, jumping and running and this and that. So when I have that time with them, like, you know, it's super fun because they're so small. You're just like doing little techniques, but you're teaching them. So I'm like, oh, like this muscle, like, oh, like I hear you're biking a lot. And so you just kind of go through and then you show them how to maybe stretch certain things. And you're like, okay, so this is fun, you know, you can kind of go through and do this. And then you're like, I mentioned with us and, you know, playing sports in high school, like, you don't know what kind of doors it might open for them, like, and what, you know, opportunities or what interests that might kind of be sparked from that. So that's what I like a lot, working with the kids. So
that's really awesome.
Part of things, yeah.
That's awesome. I have a client who's pregnant. She's ready to pop soon. My sister's pregnant. There's everyone's, especially at our age, everyone's just popping out babies. So that's awesome. That's, you know, and a lot of women that are pregnant are experiencing, you know, the back pain and stuff like that. So I think that's awesome. That's awesome that you're doing that. So then tying into benefits of it. So obviously, you know, I move a lot. I like to work out a lot. That creates muscle tension. You know, you're tight, you can have sore muscles. You know, I do like Epsom salt baths and stuff like that. But I do really want to harness the power of massage therapy and that release. So obviously a benefit is releasing muscle tension. That would be a reason why I would go. But I want to talk about other benefits of massage therapy.
So yeah, and they're, like I explained with the techniques, there are so many that you can, you know, kind of master or try and this and that, but that goes with the benefits and stuff. So lymphatic drainage is another certification that you can take. Like we learn about it in school, but and enough to get by so that we know what we're talking about and stuff. But then you can take another certification to just be kind of like a master in it, you know?
Okay.
And so there's different kind of, you can go off in areas like for the pre and postnatal, you know, you can go off and learn a bit more. And like for the infant massage, like I did as well. So there's kind of areas that you can go to learn more, but with different benefits.
Well,
Like I said, lymphatic drainage, that helps
yeah.
with swelling. And if there's any illnesses that someone could have, you know, like
Yeah.
cancer related or
So I'll expand on this, not to cut you off,
yeah.
to expand on the lymphatic drainage. So for those who don't know, the lymphatic system is like a network of vessels through the body, and it ties into our immune system essentially. So yeah, getting a massage kind of stimulates that lymphatic system, and it also has a role in hormone transportation. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. It kind of ties into like hormone balance and, you know, just getting everything kind of flowing in the body effectively. So,
It
yeah.
does. I do notice with a lot of clients, especially working from home now, they're not set up in a proper ergonomic setup like they would be at the office. And so they're like, oh, like my feet are swollen, or I find my legs, and you know, that's like, and they don't know why. So it's educating a lot of people on, okay, well, you have different, you know, for the lymphatic system especially, you have kind of pumps, if you will, all throughout the body. And so that acts as pushing that fluid and the blood and everything up from your feet, right? So, because if it doesn't, it's just going to pool there when we get swelling, edema, you know, and everything like that. So,
For sure.
And so with massage, we can kind of go through lymphatic drainage treatments is so different from a therapeutic massage, deep tissue, or another massage. It's very, very light because the fluid under your skin is just under the skin. So we don't need to go into the muscle. We don't need to really go deep. It is just very like, almost like skin scraping, if anyone's ever done that or anything like, yeah. So it's very interesting.
Could you get like a deep tissue massage and then that after, or should you separate it, or does it matter?
It really depends on what's going on and the degree of kind of how much swelling and stuff that you have, because you don't want to aggravate and make things worse. And that's a lot of it. Like we have to watch that too, because like no pain, no gain, like that's a fine line, because like the body is giving you a pain signal for a reason, right? Because something's wrong or something's not right. So I hear so much like, oh yeah, go deep. And I'm like, I don't need to, you know, but like, it's just kind of go through. So when you go too deep or you're in an area too much, you could start an inflammation response. And that's the opposite of what you want. You kind of want, sorry.
Oh. Okay. I was like, what was that?
He wants to be in it too. Yeah, so it's a fine line on going through, because if you kind of reach into that and get things, you know, like worse than how you had it, what are you doing? You know, how are you helping that person? It's not really. So that's why, like, it's a lot of education, because people, you know, we grew up with that. No pain, no gain. If you're not, you know, in pain, you're not working hard enough. It's like, okay,
wow. I like that you brought that up. I like that you brought that up, because that's very much kind of aligns with the HOP90 and kind of what we practice and we preach. Yeah, you don't have to go 100% all the time.
You don't. And even for an hour massage, which is usually the typical length, yes, you can do a full body and you're kind of targeting areas, but if you actually need, you know, specific work done, you're just going to focus on that kind of area first. And then whatever time you have left over, then you can kind of go through and do whatever bits you want. But again, that's education. So a lot of people, like when they first approach, you know, a massage therapist, it's like, it's not always like, okay, yeah, I'll get you in, and then it's all fluffy massage and you're good to go. It's, you know, educating someone on their body and what's going on and why it's happening, and then going through and explaining to them the approach that you're going to do, the work that you need to do, and then you get started. So a lot of people, I think in their head, they like it's a quick fix, you know, like I'm just going to massage them for an hour and then they're going to be great. Sometimes that happens, you know, sometimes the body just responds super well and they're like, oh, I feel great. This is amazing, which is great. But I don't want that to become like an expectation, because the body is so, you know, so different for everybody. And then the response to, you know, whatever you're doing to it can be very different. So
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we have the lymphatic system, obviously reducing muscle tension. It relieves anxiety and depression. I like that one because, you know, there's lots of anxiety and depression these days.
I think everybody, especially within the last 2 years, can benefit from that part of massage.
Right.
It's so with our bodies, like, you know, as well, the stress hormones, they can be through the roof with work, life, combination of both. And then now with external factors that we really can't control. So it is really taxing on our bodies to be in that high of a, you know, state all the time, whereas we should be like down here just enjoying life and just being happy and stuff. But like, there's so much more on our plates now than there was when we were younger, you know, because we didn't have phones and we didn't have all this, so we didn't know what so and so was doing, you know,
like we're playing kick the can in our backyards.
So now it's just our whole mindset and everything. So we are seeing a lot more kind of mental health, you know, like I just want to come like stress relief or just kind of relax. And that's great, you know?
Yeah.
I want more people to, you know, explore the different self-care kind of modalities that are out there. But with massage specifically, that it can be intense for some people, because there is a trauma response sometimes for massage. So going through, you know, I could be massaging, and I've had some clients in the past that have a very strong response to certain areas of their body. And, you know, sometimes you don't even know until that happens. And then going through, and that is along the mental health journey and kind of self-care and figuring out what's going on and why you have that response. And I don't do that stuff, but I'm kind of bringing it to light for you, you know, if that happens. And then in turn, if the client knows that, I have to tailor my work to helping that person as well. So if they come to me and say, oh, like my anxiety is just like through the roof, I all the time, and I have panic attacks and this and that, my thought process is not going to be like, okay, well, I got to work out these muscles. It's going to be like, okay, how do I relax their body as a whole? How do I just get them to regulate their breathing? Because that helps to calm, like yoga, you know, the deep belly breaths, that helps to calm our nervous system. So if we can do that, even in like a stressful situation in our lives, you know, if we're like, oh, stressed out, you know, a nice couple deep breaths will help bring us down. The same can be with massage. So you get on the tables, people could be nervous or anything like that. Focusing on breath for a couple, you know, a nice couple deep breaths just helps them kind of relax a bit. And then you can feel their body. And so I've massaged like since I was little. So I have like, I don't know, I feel like very in tune with the human body. I love it. Like, it's so fascinating to me. So when I'm doing that, like, I just try to, you know, zone in on that person and really just kind of be like, okay, like what areas, and then it just kind of opens it up to you, their body, once they're relaxed. Because when people are stressed, you know, like everything is just so like tight, and you can't even really do anything because it's more painful for them because they don't want to release. Like I could be like, okay, someone relax their arm and they're straight out, and it's like
you're not relaxing. Oh wow.
Yeah, but with mental health, like it is so good, because when you get to that point, you're able to just relax. You feel great. You're not. And I find music kind of plays into this as well. So some therapists, they'll just play like the radio or have a playlist going. I tend to ask clients, like, do you have a preference? You know, like if I'm doing deep tissue, like, you know, I can play it, but you don't usually typically want to listen to like, you know, the ethereal kind of music and
Right.
the slow kind of Enya stuff, you know? So, you know, I ask people, but when it's that mental health and kind of like stress and anxiety that you're trying to work out, you want more music like that. You don't want lyrics. You want something that they can just kind of like float off into, you know?
Right.
And so they come back and they're like, oh, I feel great, you know? And it's that hour to just unwind and forget about everything. And, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
like
a
who cares
reborn.
what's going on in the world right now? What are you
Yeah.
like, just relax right here, right now. So
For sure.
it's allowing to have that space as well. Because a lot of people don't have that, right? It's just stressful everywhere they go. So you come and you're like, okay, just nice deep breath. You're here now, you know, you don't have to worry. And so I
This is your
find it
time. Be here, be present,
exactly.
and just let go.
Yeah,
I did
exactly.
want to get back to cortisol, so our stress hormone. You know, I don't want to demonize cortisol. Like it's a
We need it.
we need that hormone. It's
Mhm.
good to have it. It keeps us awake. It keeps us alert. We do want that. But the issue is when it is super high and it's high all the time. So if you're stressed, you know, anxious, depressed, so high cortisol is linked to lots of issues. So like high blood pressure, it can affect libido. So like ED, erectile dysfunction. It can influence the menstrual cycle, ovulation, lots of things. Obviously, like fatigue, irritability. So I think a lot of people might not be aware of that. And, you know, I think massage is a great outlet. You know, obviously, I'm going to say, you know, move your body, go work out, eat well. You know, those are all great things that can help. But massage is just, it's nice because it's like you're getting, it's therapy. You're getting, it's from somebody else. Somebody else is giving you
Yeah.
like their energy, and you just kind of release. So
Yeah.
it's a
So
nice way to think.
I don't know if you ever read it or saw it or whatever, but I think it's a meme. But it was about talking about a hug and how long, if you hug someone for 60 seconds, the effects that that has on the cortisol levels. And then if you hug them even longer, it has more effects. Massage can kind of be like that, you know, because
Right.
I am giving healthy touch, you know, and it's sensory and it's so much that maybe someone doesn't have or they don't have a healthy version of it, you know? And so it allows that body to calm down because the energy that I'm giving to it isn't that chaotic, you know, it's trying to be that calm so that the body responds to that. Because if I come at the body like, you know, the body's gonna be like, whoa, I don't want that. Why, you know, like I mentioned, the approach to anyone coming in for any mental health issues is very like slow and just, you know, encouraging and encompassing all of these different kind of things that are very just therapeutic, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful. We got
Yeah.
anxiety, depression, muscle tension. Obviously, improves circulation, gets the blood flowing,
Yeah.
reduces the stress hormone. It's relaxing. There's lots of benefits.
Mhm.
How often do you think, like, is there an
I get
amount
this
of
question a
time?
lot actually, because a lot of people are like, oh, how often should I be booking in?
Yeah.
So if there are certain issues that need to be addressed and worked on to have, you know, to fix it, there
Yeah.
needs to be, you know, a couple appointments closer together. So it
For
depends.
sure.
It could be every week for, you know, a chunk of time, and then you do a reassessment and then kind of go from there. Or it could be, you know, okay, I'll see you every 2 weeks, you know, just for maintenance. Or it could
Right.
be, you know, if you, I find more monthly if the person is body knowledgeable, knows how to stretch and is active and doing all of that because they're using their body, you know,
Yeah.
they know how to. So, you know, say they had a really hard workout and their glutes or their legs are sore, they know how to stretch that out without being like, oh, I don't really know, like I don't want to hurt myself or I don't want to do anything, you know, that's going to make it worse.
Mhm.
So that's kind of more monthly for them. Unless they
For
want to
sure.
come in because they know and they're working their body hard, then I'll see them more often, right?
Yeah.
But I ideally probably twice a month, two monthly. Yeah, and then
Okay.
some see people like every 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
doable.
but
I
then
like that.
really, yeah, about twice a month, 2 monthly.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll put it in. I was just
But
gonna
it's
come down.
just, yeah, with body, like, strength and, conditioning and all that, it does help with body posture. But
Yeah,
then going through and making sure that your body is set up, properly. So yeah, you're working on that and you're building strong muscles and a good foundation. But then massage is kind of like the other half of that to make sure that you're, stacking those bricks in order. And it's not
for sure.
like, the front of your body is stronger than the back, or your right is stronger than the left. You're going to have obviously with your dominant side, you're going to have that. But if you have it too much, or if things aren't working right, say your hips, are working as a block, that's going to affect your back and your legs, which then in
Yeah,
workout, it's not going to be an optimal workout for you.
for
So
sure. It's all
it's
connected.
absolutely.
100%.
I can talk forever about it. I love it so much.
I,
But
I love it. So I'm gonna ask you, what's your take on massage guns? I have one here.
so I think they are a great kind of modality to have, but they're not like to be replaced
Right.
to replace real hands. Like it's great to have like between visits or after a killer workout or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's to replace an actual like RMT or anything. I'm not just saying that because I'm like, oh, just come and see me.
No, 100%. Like, I can only do this for so long, and it's like I'm not gonna pound the back of my neck.
Yeah,
It's
and a lot of it, they come with an instruction book, which I really, really would prefer people to read, because you don't want to just go gung-ho on, certain areas, because it could, not do damage. I don't want to say damage, but it could make things a little worse than they were, right? So I like them. Like I've used them in, as well, but yeah, just kind of just be careful of them. Don't use them too much. Don't use them in too many areas. Like, yeah, just read the
well,
instructions.
yeah.
There's
So,
other
but so
tools. I have
the
like
diff.
one like this.
Oh my gosh, what is
So
that?
this one can go like at the area. This you can like, have the pressure to kind of go along your legs, or this into like, yeah. So there's different things. So the massage gun like this, and then I have massage balls. So these ones are a bit bigger. You can get smaller ones too. And
Yeah.
smaller ones are maybe about the size of tennis balls, or a little smaller and just firm all the way through. But these and like kind of stuff like this works just as well as a massage gun, but maybe not as quick,
Right.
So just kind of figuring out what works for you.
Yeah. Well, then that's obviously just like self manipulation, right? And then sometimes I don't always do it. I'm just like, well, if I'm doing it, like I don't always show up for it, we'll say, or I'll just be like, oh, I'll forget about it. But obviously, if you're making an appointment with somebody, you have to go there, you're showing up. It's nice. You're getting out of the house, or you're coming, you go to people's houses too, right?
Yeah. Which
But,
going to be a little hard during the pandemic, but it's been great. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have your protocols in order. Everything's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you're in Ottawa.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm in Ottawa full time, and then I go to Belleville usually every other weekend. But since the last kind of lockdown, it's been a bit slower there. But who knows how that'll go? But yeah, so I'm still going down to Belleville every once in a while. But Ottawa is jam-packed usually. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So sorry for any Tri-City area people who are watching and want to book with Jade, but you're gonna have to go to Belleville or Ottawa.
Maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah. But no, obviously we know lots of people in Belleville. We grew up there, so yeah, guys, book a session with Jade. I have to go home to Belleville soon. Maybe we'll.
That I'm available on all my social media and email, all that.
For sure. Well, I loved it. I love the connection between different, things. Obviously, I'm, nutrition, fitness coaching, but it's all related to hormones. And I wanted to tie that in with massage therapy. And it really is something that I want to do monthly. It's part of a self-care routine, and Yeah, and just being your best self.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. But yeah, no, so thanks for taking the time to meet and chat with me. You're awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yeah. Hopefully that'd be awesome.
Right?
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. This is super fun. My first live.
Right? Good. Good. I'm glad that we had some fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And if you have any questions, reach out to Jade or myself. And yeah, let's get massaged. All right, girl. Have a great day. I appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.